Morning.
Buenos dias.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Well, I'm going to have to hop off because Karen just pulled up. We're going to have to go install doors.
Okay. All
All
right.
right. Y'all have a great day.
We love work. Work's good.
Yeah. All right. Talk to y'all later.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Rob.
Good morning, Karen.
Good
Morning, Karen.
morning.
Good to see you back.
Thanks.
We missed you, and it looks like you made the best of a bad situation, and
Yep.
everything you had going on. We missed you. Yeah. So there's Claire. Awesome.
Morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Morning,
Michelle had to
Karen.
hop off already. Her and Karen were working on cabinets, so she had to hop off. Anyone make it on the? I'm getting all these calls mixed up, all these different things. But there was one yesterday with James Bradford that was very good.
Yes.
And and it was just a great reminder to be at how important it is to be at the events. And
I really enjoyed his What If video. I do a lot of Jim Rohn. I mean, obviously a lot of us are his disciples, but I don't believe I've ever heard that one before, the 4 What Ifs. So it's pretty powerful.
yeah. Love Jim Rohn. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, there's Jim.
Had you heard that one before?
I heard parts of it before. It was like, it was like I had to have heard the whole thing at some point before, because there were parts of it I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. So, but it's been a while. I'd like to go back and watch it again too. But I thought it was interesting. Claire, the event that we were at, the Diamond University that we were at in San Diego, that Angel Lee, I forgot her last name. She had just joined right before that event, went to that event, left that event, and 31 days later was Sapphire. Got her husband excited about it, even though he wasn't really excited about it, and bought his ticket to Salt Lake City. He said no, he couldn't make it, and she said, well, I didn't just buy your ticket, I bought your plane ticket also. I mean, you got to go. And so he went, and 31 days later, I think they were Ruby, and then he was definitely involved at that point. Super said that he had, they were sitting in different locations and stuff because of her team and whatever. And he had stepped away a few times and told her he had to step behind the bleachers and stuff a few times just to pull himself together emotionally, because it was, it had really, that's what events do for us. I mean, it really it tugs on your heartstrings sometimes. You can relate to things that are going on, and you can also understand the life that you've had up until that point, and see that somebody else has maybe had the same things going on, and they've overcame that situation by just putting their head down and getting to work with this business, and wow, the doors that it's opened. So he saw that and at Salt Lake City, and then went on to the homecoming event in Vegas that Claire and I were at, and some of you got, Michelle and Rob, and some of us went to that. I think all of us were there, actually. Look at who I'm talking to. The accountable achievers. We're everywhere. Whenever there's an event, we're there. So I am so proud of us for that. But it really does make a difference. And she said that after that homecoming event, like 31 days later, they were Emerald. And so here she's excited to see what happens after this, convention on Friday. So I thought that
Can I
was
touch on that a second?
Huh?
One
Yeah.
aspect of what you just brought up, as far as her husband going behind the stands, Dr. Dispenza talks quite a bit about memories are created and usually are tied to emotions. Some of your
Yes.
strongest memories are tied to emotions. That's part of the reason for events. And I just got through posting something on Achievers about visualization. It's the same thing that Heidi Stallard teaches, when you're trying to visualize, try to tie an emotion to it. So this is all hand in hand. I mean, it's
Yeah.
designed that way because, again, it spurs action. It spurs, when you're truly moved by certain situations, whatever, you might be intaking visual or hearing audio,
Mhm.
those, when it's tied to an emotion, those memories are quite profound.
Very true. Very, very true. Yeah, I thought, that was really, it was a great story for her to share. And
Unfor-
looking at, the screen right then when she was talking and seeing the gallery view, and I could see, I'm like scrolling for the last names, and there her husband was, still plugged in, plugged into the call and everything. So, he's all in now. So
It's unfortunate Terry's not couldn't tell me he can only listen today, but I wish I could hear some of Terry's commentary on this too.
yes, yeah. Terry was listening in yesterday and had to hop off because we went over. But it's I always love to hear you and Terry chime in. Well, anybody, but it does. It puts a different spin on things, and I like that. And I mean, if you really think back to, you're right, and things that are tied to emotion, think back to situations, maybe the last time that you cried, and what was it about? Was, or the last time, you were super excited about something, or look at a picture. You can look at a picture of a great memory or a sad memory or whatever, and it just, sometimes will just bring on a flood of emotions. So it's like those memories. I think it's neat. And so what was it, the thing that you shared, Rob? Is it Joe Dispenza?
Well, Dispenza does a lot of teaching on that. Yes, I mean he's talking about how memories are created and the strongest ones.
Oh, I see.
A lot of what he has to talk about is people get overcoming things. He talks a lot about or teaches a lot about the refractionary period. When something happens to you, how long does it take for you to get over it? Does it just gradually fade away within an hour or two, or does it take weeks or days or months? That type of situation. But anyway, the strongest memories we have are tied to an emotion, traumatic or otherwise.
Yeah, I believe it.
And like I said, I've heard Heidi's teaching on visualization, and how you should try to tie it to an emotion when you start visualizing things, for your future, tied to an emotion. And even Joe has talked on that as well, taught on that.
And would that also include like your senses and stuff like that? Like, what do you smell and what do you?
Yeah, absolutely. The more senses you can tie to that, the greater response it would be.
Yeah, that would be good. That kind of goes with the movie thing that we were talking about earlier in the week or last week. Like instead of a vision board, the movie.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. So one of the things that I really enjoyed the call yesterday with James Bradford, and one of the things that he was saying is, hey, dress up for the event. I know we're going to be behind us, like, sitting at our house and, relaxing in front of a screen of some sort. But he said, we've all been in t-shirts and shorts and stuff. And why not dress up and make it a big deal? And I thought, well, I might just do that. And another thing was the tickets, the guest tickets. And I really liked what he said about this, but you got to watch it. You got to be careful with it. And so I wanted to dig down a little bit on it. He said, even team members that have mentally checked out. So we have some of those. We've got a lot of those. And even team members that have mentally checked out, if you wanted to get them on, he said, get them a guest ticket, to get them on the call, get them, to get them plugged in. Now the background thing on that, I would say that's a last ditch effort to get somebody, one of your mentally checked out team members on this event, is to get them that guest ticket. It's great. It could be huge to get them in front of the activity and what's going on and the fire, right? But man, they'd be pretty upset if they only had a guest ticket and they knew that they were actually a consultant, and then the consultants get all these extra deals and stuff that they might offer for consultants. So that would be the only thing, but you just have to sell them on the fact that, hey, you got a discounted ticket. That, it's one or the other. Either you pay the full price as a distributor, a business partner, or you and get whatever they offer to the business partners, or you can come on as a guest for $29 and see everything, and just get the excitement and everything that we're going to experience here and see what's going on with the company.
One thing I would, I think it was Claire last week that brought it up. I still have $100 credit because I'd paid the $179 for the ticket to start with, but I would only imagine, simply because we're not there typically when you're there, their store that they have there has a lot of discounted items. I can only imagine that they're going to probably do the virtual store and give a lot of deals. So I plan on using that $100 this weekend. But I figured probably a weekend deal that they're going to offer a lot of specials for county products within the store, just like you can buy your 7-day trial packs at half price.
Right.
Instead of spending $39 or something for it, or whatever they are, they're $17.50. So anyway, I typically buy quite a few of those, but I thought that was a great reminder. And was it Claire, the one that brought it up last week?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember. I actually used my credit for the Mother's Day special.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I got that special for like $70 or something like that with the credit.
Yeah, that was a good deal. Yeah, and that's a good point, Rob. They'll have some sort of, well, what was it last, I don't know when it was.
They'll probably have something on the new product too.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Yeah, a big push on the new product. So
Any ideas? Y'all want to throw out some ideas and see what y'all think it's going to be?
I'm with Rob. Gut health and probiotics and that sort of thing.
Well, I thought, Kathy, you had a better idea that it's probably something Dr.
Andreas
came up with.
I switched. I was like, I said weight loss, but I switched back to what Rob and I were talking about last week too, with the
I missed that.
Probiotics.
Oh, okay.
It's like whoever's right, I'm going to steal their idea.
See, I missed that. I must have missed that call because I don't remember us talking about it. So, okay.
Well, Kathy came up with Dr. Andreas has dropped some hints along the way about some other supplements. So it could be something to that maybe is deficient, maybe for high-level athletes that we're not addressing with the products that we have. I think that was Kathy's take that then Dr. Andreas might be coming together with something along those lines. I personally thought it was more maybe geared towards gut health, something still in overall health, but kind of geared towards improving. We already do the HL5 with the leaky gut, and leaky gut is a major problem for a lot of people. So maybe something a little more along those lines. But whatever it is, it's amazing or interesting to me. They're going to make it stand alone, and they already have an app for it. So whatever they're introducing is something separate. So, I mean, last year in May, a year ago when we went to Salt Lake, I was thinking it was going to be like some all-natural shampoo or something. I had no idea. I guess way wrong on that one. But Claire, Karen, what do y'all think?
I have no clue. I mean, that's why I'm just, so when it comes out, I'm going to be totally surprised because I have no idea what route they would go. But I think I think you guys are probably close to what the target,
Well, one of the recent,
whatever it is, I'm going to buy into it. It doesn't matter,
Yeah, I'm all in. I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all in. I've been all in. So,
yeah, I was talking to Rob last week, I guess it was, about there's a video that Dr. Andreas had out, and he was actually walking through his house, his refrigerator, going through the refrigerator, showing all the vegetables and stuff that he's got in his refrigerator, and foods, and organic meats and whatever. And then he opened a drawer, and the drawer was full of supplements. And he said at that point that, and I keyed in on that because I take extra vitamin D. And so I was like, what kind of vitamin D does he have? And so I, zoomed in on it, paused the video, found it, and ordered it on Amazon. So anyways, but I was thinking, man, with all of that, he's got his mentality is he wants to keep things as simple as possible. Kyani is super simple, and it does a lot of things, but what can he get to replace some of these other things? So I thought that too. And then I thought, weight loss is a big deal, and that's a big, we don't have anything that actually says weight loss. So that would be a big deal. Because some people are just specifically looking to lose weight.
I still want to know what Karen thinks because she runs around with a lot of people in the upper echelon. So,
yeah.
Or she knows things. So come on, Karen, spill the beans.
I know.
I really don't have any idea what it will be, but I'm guessing it's probably something in the health and fitness or something. Yeah, I don't know. I thought maybe they'd come out with some additional skin line products, but I guess they're going to stay on the health. I'm not sure. I want us to get into the weight loss space because I think if you eat healthy, you're going to be able to maintain your weight. And so I'm not sure that I would be as excited about a weight loss product as I would a gut health or something else to go with nutraceuticals. But
you look beautiful today. What do you have going on? You look amazing.
I am just taking my Kyani and exercising, and that's about it.
Wow, you look lovely.
Not letting the craziness of all of this COVID stuff get crazy.
Yeah.
I love your hair.
I know. It looks good.
Thank you.
Good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Get mine colored tomorrow. I'm finally going to the salon. I've been waiting forever. It's bad.
Oh, I don't color mine yet. But I have this one gray that's just shooting out the side over here lately. Anyways,
to touch on what Karen said, it's very accurate. When the body is being fed the proper nutrients, it no longer craves, and that's what's part of the problem. Is that we start craving a lot of things because our body's searching. We're getting fed at a deeper molecular level. And so the cravings that we have, that's one reason why you can kind of treat, you'll never ever out exercise a bad diet. You won't.
Right.
Okay. So by taking in the nutrients that we are, I kind of totally agree with Karen, taking the nutrients that we are taking in, our cravings are a lot less, and we should be eating better. We're healing ourselves from the inside out. So I'll have to mirror what she said, an aspect. I don't know that's necessarily going to be a weight loss product.
Right. Yeah, but more than, but do you think the probiotic idea or the gut health stuff, are those kind of similar, the probiotics and gut health stuff?
Oh, it is. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've been doing more study on this in the last 2 to 3 months, and it really fascinates me. And I think that's an area that's starting to getting more and more attention.
Yeah.
I've shared it with a couple of people. I think I shared it with you. I think whenever y'all were at the Old Town Spring deal, and Terry, I sent a couple of videos. I'll put it on Channel Achievers, but there's one that's a 15-minute video from a Scottish guy. It's a TED Talk.
Mm-hmm.
And he gives a history, and that's what started me down that rabbit hole of really investigating the gut health. And it's really come a long ways as far as healing people. I mean, honestly, the people that are really surviving, people get sick and don't get sick, or people that survive attacks on their system that the COVID, this novel virus brings about. It's because they have good, strong gut health. Their guts, the microbiomes that they have are superior. I mean, because they're just stronger. That's what helps you fight off a lot of things. So that's just not my, I don't want to use a pun, but that's my gut feeling.
Yeah, well, I think that's a good one. I agree. That's awesome. Okay, and at this point too, with the inviting people and talking to people, and even if you dig back to some of the team members and people that aren't plugged in right now, pick up the phone and talk to them. Give them a call. Really check in with them. They can tell, just pick up the phone and take a minute with them and visit with them and see, what's going on, and, hey, and be excited. Hey, there's this, they're opening this up. Everything's different right now with this COVID-19 business. And so our convention is, right in our own living room. Is there any reason why, you couldn't hop on? We could get you on as a guest for $29. Is that anything that interests you? Because, this is a huge deal, and they're offering it to everybody. So pick up the phone, talk to them. If you don't have enough excitement, I've always said, run around the room first before you pick up the phone. Be out of breath, be, excited. They said, don't leave anyone behind. This is the perfect time to, think of those people. I'm thinking right now, Dean Bowie, I've got this message that he's close to achieving the next pay gate. And, he's never plugged in. He just does not plug in. But can you imagine what he could do if he were plugged in and saw, the system and how to do this? Instead, he's just gone out, hey, have you heard of Kyani? And it's like, Dean, back up. He's got a few people like that. He's got a dentist on his team. I think he's got an attorney. I mean, he's got the right people. Nobody's doing anything though, because they're doing it his way. Hey, have you heard of Kyani? Here, try this. But, what? So if I can get him plugged in and get his team plugged in to this call, this conference on Friday, wouldn't that be amazing?
Kathy, why don't you pitch it to him and let's say, listen, or have him, I'd like for you to listen to something this Friday, possibly Saturday if you can make it, because there's going to be some additional training. But all I'm trying to do, Dean is his name, Dean?
Yeah.
Dean. Okay. Dean, all I'm trying to do is maximize your opportunity for success. You know, you're out there, you're doing the work, whatever, but there are a few key things that you could possibly tweak a little bit that could probably further along your prospects for success. And I think this event, this Friday and Saturday will go a long way in accomplishing that for you. It's a small investment compared to actually going to Vegas, flying there, staying at a hotel, eating all the food at the places. I mean, you're going to spend a couple hundred, maybe $1,000 there. Here, you're spending less than $100. I really think it'd be worth your time to listen to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, Jules last night was saying how you can go into your back office and look to see who actually already has tickets on your team. I did that, and I discovered that Maria doesn't have a ticket. And, you know, she had been wanting to be plugged in, so I'm going to reach out to her. I was going to get Michelle, but it seems like Michelle has really been busy, so I was going to reach out. And what's her name, Art, has a ticket too, Amanda. So she's going to be able to plug in. Susanna doesn't have a ticket. So there's a lot of people that are on, and of course, all those other new people have no idea who they are, don't have tickets. So
has anyone heard from Betty?
No.
Yeah.
That would be a good idea for us to reach out as a team here to reach out to Betty Shute. That would probably just mean so much to her.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's when she was on my mind last night before I went to sleep. It's like, okay, that's.
Well, if she was on your mind, you need to reach out to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
When someone gets in your heart and on your mind, you need to for that.
Definitely pray for her.
Yeah.
I commit to reaching out to Betty today. Anybody else want to join me?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely on my list.
Yes.
Thank you.
Note.
Yeah. Betty.
Another one, Terry, that's not on. Terry just logged in. We were talking about team members that are not on, have tickets. Jules Martizio is telling us how to go to your back office to look that up. Shandi hasn't gotten a ticket. I mean, we need to get him engaged if he's still interested. I mean,
he was plugged into Casey, but he needs to be plugged into us too.
Yeah, and then Cece's got a ticket, so you know that's good. Cece's on there.
Yeah, we need to follow up with her to make sure that she's actually going to be on, though.
Yeah,
just a reminder. So reaching out to these people individually, and Shandi and Cece, and just you know, having that conversation, making sure, hey, you know, this is going to be super exciting. You know, and if you, and to let them know if you have anyone interested in being on this, you know, they can get on for $29. And so as far as the other, you know, guest. So when you're reaching out to them, let them know, you know, if you have anyone that was asking about what you're doing or whatever, you can get them plugged in for $29. So,
you know, I wouldn't put this as their first exposure, though. I would think this would be more of a second or third exposure. What are your thoughts on that? Because
yeah,
exposed first some other way.
Right. No, that's what I said. People that are, and you know, so
you've already had them.
Doing, you're already, definitely that you've already had communication going on with them, and
you might confuse them.
Yeah. Well, like you know, like Dean has customers. He's got team members that have never been to any type of event, but they're already on the product. They're already, you know, they like the product. And who knows what videos he's shown to them, but I'm sure that's all he's done. And so, you know, for those type people, yes.
On the flip side from what Claire, and I'm not going to argue with Claire, just a flip side thought is somebody brand new seeing this could possibly get really excited looking at the team environment, look at the new products. I think there's going to be some, you know, basic level teaching. I don't think it'll be real in-depth teaching. They'll probably come on Saturday, but for somebody's first exposure, it would, to me, it would be more kind of an exciting type thing. Like, wow, this is pretty cool. This is powerful. Look how big they are, you know, whatever.
And you can never tell how someone's
Yep.
going to react. You can never tell. You can guess all you want to, but you never know.
Can't say the wrong thing to the right person and vice
Yeah,
versa.
no, I think I would still do an overview. Send them on an overview first, or the grandma code, and then invite them to. That's just my personal thought.
Yeah.
Because that way you give them that excitement. You want to see what we do behind the scenes after you see what we're doing. Because supposedly when you get them on an overview, they don't know what they're seeing. They don't know Kyani. They don't know anything about it. So that's what my first exposures are. Usually people that don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
Putting them on a 6-hour call as a first exposure is not. Yeah, that's just the 2 people I did invite have been exposed a couple times.
Yeah.
I think it depends, and you ultimately have to let them know, and just, you don't tell them, hey, we're watching a 6-hour video this Friday. You tell them, hey, our company is actually doing a conference online because we're responding positively to everything that's happening in the world right now, and we're finding a way to stick to our original schedule. If you're interested in, jumping in on our conference, it's basically like an all-day seminar. Is that something you'd be interested in? Or would you prefer to watch a quick overview? Let them decide, because at the end of the day, if they're busy, they're not going to do a conference right now. But if they're sitting on their butt collecting an unemployment check, waiting to go back to work, I mean, even look at Brian Penzo. He signed up for a all-day seminar or whatever. He didn't even know what it was about, and it turned out to be about writing a book. So there are some people that sign up for events or that go to events. If you tell them it's got a lot of great stories and it's got a lot of great tips for personal development and whatnot, some people are interested in that sort of thing. So some people are open to sitting through something like that, even if they don't join with a company, because there's value in it. Whether you're starting with Kyani or not, there's value in listening to those speakers. There's keynotes and everything. So I think if you put it to them that way and let them make that choice, like even if they had expressed interest in learning more, you could say, hey, normally we share a quick overview with you. However, this week we've got this all-day conference coming up. If you're into personal development and really seeing, the heartbeat of what we do, that's definitely an option for you, right? And just let them decide.
Landmark people, you got it right, Jake. Yeah, landmark people might really buy into that too.
Yeah. Right. Right. Very good, Terry. Terry, we were going to ask you earlier, what are your thoughts on what new product do you think is coming out?
Jake too.
And Jake, yeah.
Let's see. What do we need?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I would agree where it might be something related more to physical fitness and peak performance, something along those lines. I do know also with for example, the Fit 20, great product, but definitely not designed for a meathead or a gym rat or an athlete that uses a lot of protein, because those little pouches are going to add up really quick for anybody that goes through protein frequently throughout the week. If somebody's using, 20 or 40 grams of protein a day, there's a reason they make those big tubs of protein. So I think that we've kind of ventured into that segment of the market, but I don't think that we've really made our products for an athlete. So if they're talking, I haven't really heard any of the hint drops or anything. I haven't been following it that closely. But if they're talking about a standalone product or a standalone system, my guess would be something geared towards that type of person. I definitely hope that it's not weight loss related, but at the same time, like you guys said, I mean, whatever it is, I'll embrace it. It's just another tool in our tool belt.
Right. Yeah.
And Jake's consistent with that. He mentioned when it came out last year that they might have missed the boat, because Jake said that a year ago when it came out. It needs to be in a much larger tub.
Yeah, the tub. I agree, because anyone that that's on protein gets the tubs. They just get the tubs.
But at the same time, if they're saying it's a new product, standalone system, it's not going to be protein. So
right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking they're going to come out with an airtight bubble where we can just isolate ourselves from the rest of the world. I think it'll be good for COVID-19 for a few years.
The bubble kids, huh?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to go in a bubble, because if I go in a bubble, I don't get exposed to any of the germs, and when I come out, I'll never be able to come out of the bubble.
Right.
So I'm not going in the bubble.
They'll find a way to make us 30 years younger when we come out, so it'll work out all right.
No, I don't think so.
Right. And I don't do a mask either, unless the store requires. Well, I just don't go to the store if they require.
Yep.
I don't wear a mask. So anyway.
They also have hinted about new technology that maybe the app is going to be more robust too. I mean, I don't know. I don't use the app, so the Kindly Pro. So it's going to be interesting to see that part of it too.
Yeah. Changes there.
Jules kind of
Good
hinted
point.
something like that last night as well.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely do some stuff there. Well, definitely, make a list of those people that you need to reach out to. I don't know if everybody heard, we're going to reach out to Betty today too. I am.
I already have.
Rob is, a few of us are. Reach out to people that are members of your team that have mentally checked out. You can get them in as a guest on this event on Friday. If they're sitting, and like who was it, Jake said, if they're sitting at home drawing unemployment, just flip the TV on. That's all, or flip the screen, your screen on and watch it. Plug in for a little bit and see what's going on. And it should be, some great information for them and get them back and engaged in what's going on. I can tell you, just listening to the excitement on the calls, these past couple of weeks with building up to convention has made a difference in even me and my thought process and everything. It's just really neat to be plugged into a company like this, that we know that we've got the right products, we've got the systems, we've got people, and just use what we have and look at what look at the incomes that people are getting because of just sharing a good product. I mean, we all take it. We all know how good it is. We all know that we don't get sick anymore, and we feel better, and we've got more energy, and we don't have all those aches and pains, and we're off our prescriptions, and my gosh, I can go on and on. And it's like, why are we keeping that to ourselves? Share this. So, anyone else have anything? 8:39.
Yeah, no, I was going to ask you, for those people that are still working from home, this is not going to work for them, right?
It'll work.
Anything works. If they
think
want
so?
it to.
It'll work if you want it to work.
It works if you want it to. Perfect, Karen.
I'm
Love
working.
it.
But if they're using the computer that times them how much work they're putting in, wouldn't they come?
No different. No different.
I have both of my computers on.
Yeah,
I'm working
no different.
Friday. So I'm just gonna all I have to do is act like I'm still online over here and work. And I'm having this computer, just like I do every day. Because I thought about it's not my Friday off. I thought about taking the day off. I said, no, why? I'm gonna be right here at home. I can still do both.
Okay, that's a perfect example. That Claire's working, and she's going to be. Do you think she's not going to be plugged into that call? Hell yeah, she's going to be on that call. So.
And if I miss anything, guess what? We have it I can go back to.
Got 30 days of it. Yeah.
I don't miss anything, but.
Yeah.
Candace is doing the same thing, and the average person that goes into work every day and works at an office, they probably do about 2 to 3 hours of actual work. By the time you factor in coffee breaks and water cooler talk and talking with customers that are in there face to face, and your lunch break that is, at least an hour typically, and just the surfing on Amazon and Facebook and stuff while they're at their desk. People don't actually do 6, 7, 8 hours of work in a day at the office. So the average person that's working at home right now, they don't really need to put that much time into their day, the average person, in order to accomplish what they normally accomplish. So, I mean, and like I say, Candace is doing the same thing. She's going to work from home and tune in as well. So there's a lot of people that will be doing that. And it's kind of like what we were saying with Claire, like we don't really want to judge a person and say, oh, well, they're busy, they work, they can't do that.
Yeah.
We don't know a person's schedule. And especially if they're working from home, they probably have freedom and flexibility in their work as well, or their hours. So, we're just like saying whether or not somebody would be a customer or business partner, that's not up to us to decide. We're here to educate people and let them know what we've got and let them know the opportunities right in front of them and let them decide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The only reason I'm saying that is the company that I was with before I retired. We're under production. Say you have to do 44. They go by numbers. 44 daily of production. And if they don't get the 44 production, they know that they're not putting their ability to do the 44, and it comes out on the computer.
Right.
Is that
everything is like that, Eva? Mine, you could tell if I had stepped away from my desk for any length of time, and all of our numbers are recorded and all of that. But there's ways around it, and if somebody wants to do it, figure it out, they can do it. But you have to give them a choice. You don't have to figure it out for them. They can
let
figure
them
it out.
tell you. And they might even make the choice like, hey, you know what, I really want to be plugged into this. I'm going to take a day off, or I'm going to call in sick, or whatever.
Call in sick. Yeah. It's like, I'm going to call in sick, or I'm only going to work a half a day and call in sick during this, time that it starts. When does it start? Like 11 our time?
Yeah, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And 10:30 for that little pre-meeting or whatever. But you know what? My thing is, I hesitate to call in sick because nowadays Chevron says, well, do you have a fever? If you have a fever, you got to call the number of the health and wellness.
With my stomach.
No, I don't. Yeah, but they just had a council member that I thought she had food poisoning. She has COVID.
Ah, jeez.
No temperature, no all these other. I'm like, oh my God, every time you go to the bathroom, you're going to think you have COVID now.
I used that stomach one the week before my last week.
I always used to use it, but I can't use it now.
Because I never
all my excuses.
I never wanted to tell her that I didn't feel good, because it was like it's Kyani. Kyani keeps me well. But occasionally, if I ever, if I just needed some time off, my stomach, I must have had something that didn't agree with me.
That's what I usually go to. But then I just saw this morning about that council member. I was like, really? I can't even use that now.
No, you ate something that broke out. Go ahead.
I'm just going to say, so with all of this COVID stuff, you guys have heard that the test kits, they've had issues with that, and that some of the flu shots have COVID in them. And then not to mention that all the HIPAA, the privacy with healthcare is like totally thrown out of the window here with all this.
Wow.
So just be educated, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And don't let this, we don't do this for people that have other illnesses that are just as deadly as the COVID is.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So try to keep a balance on it. Don't let the fear control you.
Oh yeah, absolutely not.
So many people have allowed that too. I have family.
That's yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's great. That's great.
Don't let the fear of that. We should be fearing lots of other things besides just that.
Right. I'm living life as I normally do. I had family over on Friday, and and I was like, you know what, I really miss this, and I'm fine with that, and my house is clean enough. Go through and clean up after everybody leaves, and washing our hands along the way. go to the grocery store like I do. I don't wear a mask. I come, I've always been distant, with people. I've never been, I don't like crowded spaces anyway. And then, come home and wash my hands or whatever. I'm not freaking out over it. So, yeah, I agree, Karen. So.
If we're wrapping up, I want to share one thing.
Yes.
A little more somber. I do want to say that I'm glad Karen's back. I had taken time to pray. Michelle shared what you were going through, and so I'm glad you're back. But there's been some prayer put out for you, and still prayers and comfort for you.
Thanks.
Last night, Michelle shared with me that the test results for her mom came back not good. Okay, her cancer her tumor's gotten larger and it's spreading. And it was like a real gut punch to her. And she couldn't talk to me. She's a prayer partner, and we pray a lot together, but she couldn't talk to me. She just couldn't. So I prayed for her. She sent me a few text messages. I did ask this morning after she got on and sent a message, can I share this with the group? And she said yes. So it's a tough situation for her right now, simply because her mother is taking care of her great grandkids. You know how Michelle has to take care of the 10 and 11-year-old boy and girl, her grandkids. She's taking care of those right now. She's been raising those. Well, those have been secluded over there, so she doesn't have interaction with the kids. They're put it on her mom. Her mom's been going through this immunotherapy and trying to keep up. But the kids for her really have kind of been a good thing. It's keeping her active. But we were praying for success and a miracle and other things, and it came back the other direction. And she just sent me a text message saying that she's seen so many of her family members die before. Let's see, this is what she sent to me. I guess I know what's coming, and it breaks my heart. I don't want her to suffer. I've watched many family members already die of cancer, and it's beyond brutal. So I will ask the group, those that will take time to pray, to put a prayer out for Michelle and her mom, Kathy. She starts radiation on Friday. So again, this is a big gut punch for her. So pray for her mom, please, and lift up Michelle right now.
It sure will.
Really tough time. Really tough.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, we'll keep her in our prayer, both of them. Yeah.
That breaks my heart. Thank you, Rob, though, for sharing it.
I'm right there with you, Claire.
Kathy and I work together, and we're really close. We were work sisters for so many years, and I was just really praying for things to be better. And damn.
Yeah.
Thank you. I gotta go, y'all.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Rob, for sharing that, and we'll definitely be praying for them, and all of us sticking together.
It would mean a lot to her, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so hard to hear all that. All right, you're right.
All right, we're gonna end on that note. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again. All right.
Bye. Bye.
God bless. Bye-bye.